Hey guys, Russ here with another Reiki Plus video factoid. I'm actually on my way back from Lethbridge. Just finished up a practitioner's refresh and recharge event there. And I'm back in Red Deer, and actually I've got a level 1 and 2, I guess it'd be this weekend. So, one of the things we talked about in the refresh and recharge events was waves or cycles. And what I mean by that, and I found that generally speaking, or one of the predominant waves or cycles that we experience is, I'm going to call it introspection and then expression. And so what I mean by that is, and a lot of you, including myself, I think, have really kind of went through the introspection portion of that wave here in the last 6 months, or the last half of last year anyway. And so during that phase, it almost seems like, you know, if you look in your external world, it seems like, I don't know, maybe things aren't quite working the way you thought they would, or, you know, it just seems like things aren't flowing, or slowing down, or, you know, however you wish to articulate that. You know, and I find that, again, everything moves in waves or these cycles, and so often what the opportunity is presented there is an opportunity for, if you will, introspection, an opportunity to, you know, to maybe to learn and to grow and to heal and to prepare and to, you know, be refined, I find. And, you know, everything is a time and a place. And so while there's a time for that introspection phase, there's also going to be a time when it moves through and then it turns into expression. So expression, the labels I'm using for this video, is everything starts happening, and everything starts moving, you know, and I know I've experienced, and you probably have too, where, you know, it seems like nothing, whatever that nothing is happening, and then all of a sudden, everything breaks free, you know, and we go, whoa, like, what, well, I don't know what I did, but boy, I'm sure glad I did it, or, you know, it's like, you blink your eyes, and holy smokes, everything's changed, and everything just seems to be, quote-unquote, working and flowing. And so for me, what I think is really important is understanding that there's those two cycles or waves, and I find it's really valuable to understand the role they play and how we can take advantage of them. So for me, that time of that introspection, that is a time, you know, where maybe we can just spend a little bit more time with ourselves. This is where your self-treatments are absolutely huge, because sometimes I find in these cycles, kind of go, hey, I want all this stuff to happen, you know, like, what if it doesn't come back? That's the other thing, right? Things were rolling and they're great, and now, well, everything seems to be, I don't know, but will it not come back? I think the thing to remember is, yes, it will come back, right? It's a cycle. And so, rather than, and believe me, you're talking to one who's guilty of it, rather than, I don't know, griping or complaining about where's the expression cycle, how about we just take advantage and understand the value of that introspective time? And like I said, for me and for you guys, this is where your self-treatments, your spiritual practice, if you will, is huge, because that plays such an important role in any healing, any growing, any refining that you're doing. And I find it helps us to navigate these introspective cycles much more productively and with a lot more grace, you know, and understand that cycle, just as it presented itself, it will move on and it will make way for the expression. And this is where, when you flow into the expression, this is where all the work that you did in the introspection pays back in multiple dividends, because you see, all that introspective time has been preparing you for the next surge, if you will. And then when that expression flow comes through, everything starts to work, and it starts to work many more times better than it did before. And that's the time all those resources you gather, the strength you gather, refining, all that kind of stuff really pays off, because then you just hop on your surfboard and you ride that wave for all it's worth. Because now everything is flowing, everything is moving, and this is the glory. You know, this is the glory and the reward, if you will, for the work you've done in the other cycle. So, and I know for myself, and I see a lot of it right now, is it really seems that, I know, call it globally or not, but at least in our little hemisphere of the world, our little ecosystem, the last year, and especially the last 6 months of the last year, was definitely an introspective time. And I saw it in my experience, and so many of you kids, right? But what I've also noticed is that the quote-unquote storm is past. The storm is past, and now the time for expression, now the time for just marinating in the glory of the last 6 months has presented itself to us. So now's the time to move. Now's the time to get your surfboard out and ride that wave, because everything's moving and flowing now. Maybe for some of you, there's still, some disturbances from the storm, but I really, really believe, even if there is, you're at the tail end of it. It's just about over. Just keep standing. I told our kids in the last 6 months, you don't have to look pretty doing it. just keep standing. Just keep standing, because the storm will pass. The quote-unquote slow time, the time when things don't seem to work, will pass. And the rewards, or the expression of that, is upon us. And I believe it's upon us right now. And that's just perfect. All right, guys, rest with Reiki Plus video. I am don't know when to get back to you. I'm actually in Red Deer for a few days, so you might see a couple of more of these showing up. All right, see you guys.